Distinguished Professor Sheikh Javed, Dean Research of the University of Kashmir, and the scholars, students, and library professionals, able access to information for all, be it in written, electronic, or audiovisual form. They play active reading material for all ages and all literacy levels. They embrace the social responsibility that those who have acquired literacy will relapse into illiteracy. And the huge investment in school education and adult literacy will be wasted. In India, most of the ongoing literacy programs do not provide long-term support to neo-literates unless they are provided effective support through reading and learning materials. They may again fall in the category of illiterates. Here, libraries play a vital role by providing reading and learning materials to all of them. All at the beginning of the 20th century, the libraries were part of awakening consciousness that saw education as an instrument for social change. After World War II, mainstream libraries gradually started to extend their services to community groups, and by 1960s, a special focus was set on reaching marginalized groups. In the following years, libraries played an important role in national literacy campaigns. In the 1980s, more flexible and proactive facilities, often called source centers, began to emerge as a force in movements for social change and the democratic reconstruction of civil society. These centers began to explore new relationships with their users, valuing local culture, supporting community development, and preserving indigenous knowledge. Today, the role of libraries and professional librarians is changing worldwide. They are no longer passive keepers and preservers of books. Rather, they have evolved to become facilitators of information and lifelong learning. With an emphasis on service, identifying user needs, and communicating solutions, modern libraries are unfolding the community's learning potential by providing information on community issues such as health, employment, continuing education, and local history. This equitable access to information is essential to enable educated and informed citizens to participate in a democratic global community. Libraries are also custodians of the local and national cultures by storing popular and academic knowledge and material for current and future generations. Thus, libraries play the most important role worldwide in helping to bridge the information gap by providing free access to information and communication technologies, particularly the internet. They are inclusive in that they build bridges between individuals at the local level and the global level of knowledge. In industrialized countries, access to modern information technology is currently one of the most attractive library services. By providing equitable access to information for all, libraries encourage critical citizenship in a global democratic society. If policy and decision makers recognize the value of literacy and libraries and the need to have a population that not only can read but will read, they must be willing to commit enough resources towards the support of libraries with sufficient investment and support. Thus, libraries will have a major positive impact on the achievement of education for all and Millennium Development Goals. This was something which I used to communicate to you as a layman about the library science and the libraries, but my heartfelt belief about the libraries and the role of the librarians, not as a layman, but as a student of history, but as a student of civilization, I firmly have the faith and belief that the library professionals across the world, in particular, and those who are involved in the process of disseminating the knowledge, whether those are printers or suppliers of books in general, they are doing a prophetic role. Let me salute the library professionals on this occasion, that it is your endeavors, it is your efforts, it is your zeal and mission that's keeping the illumination of life, and that really illuminates the darkest corners of our society, of our mindset, of our perspective. There is a growing discourse across the world nowadays that books and libraries have lost the significance, or the significance of books or the role of library professionals is diminishing day by day. But let me tell you, you are all learned people in the field. We are laymen here in front of you. Let me inform you that as long as the universe exists, the role of the book, the role of the library, and the role of the upkeeping and preserving the books, it will continue to be there. It will never diminish. We have a very famous Quranic verse, Noon wal kalami wa ma yasturun. As long as the universe is there, pen has to be there, writing has to be there, preservation has to be there, conservation has to be there, and dissemination of knowledge has to be there. And we all know that great civilizations are never identified and recognized by great missiles and great military technologies. No. Great civilizations are always identified with great repositories of books, massive libraries, and huge collections of manuscripts. That has been the identity of great civilizations right since the beginning of human history. Whether it was Greek civilization, whether it was Roman civilization, Hussanian civilization, Chinese civilization, Indian civilization, all civilizations had a point in the history, simply not because they were majestic in terms of military might, because they were majestic in terms of having hegemony on the international trade, no, because they were having huge and massive libraries. And great civilizations have come into existence simply because of the fact that they have been appreciating the use and appreciating the role of the books and the libraries. In the medieval world, the measuring rod of the efficacy of a ruler was not whether he is giving enhanced salaries to the working class, but whether he is investing something in building the libraries or not, whether he is investing something in procuring the manuscripts or not. In medieval period, one of the golden civilizations, Muslim civilization, they attained the glory and they used to have the diplomatic missions exchanged in lieu of the libraries and the manuscripts. So, this discourse has to be library science students and library professionals. They need to re-emphasize their own role. They need to revisit their own role. The growing concern about the diminishing role of the librarians and the libraries, that has to be seen in the other way. We do not believe that the role of libraries and the librarians is ever going to diminish. Manuscript heritage. Of late, world has recognized now the need of preserving this glory. as Dr. Baba said that. Recently, Dr. Baba was with me in some Central Asian country. So funds were being spent to identify the role of digitization, even in our own country. The government is conscious duty of the readers and the scholars and the students towards book reading, conservation, preservation, digitization, and role of the libraries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you once again. Now, the person who needs no intro, who is a big Dean Research, is our chief guest today, and to listen from him is.
But just a few words on that. With the advent of digital technology and all that, we have this electronic age, and I think library still continues to fulfill its role as the heart of the university, heart of the institution. This goes without saying. The library, the mandate of library, library directly contributes to the academic mission of the university, of the institution. It empowers students with knowledge and skills. Let me quote. I found it somewhere on the net, and that what is the role of librarian in the present context? And librarian is not simply a clerk who happens to work in the library. Just a quote: a librarian is a data hound, a guide, a mentor, and a teacher. The librarian is the interface between the rims of data that's available nowadays and the untrained but the motivated user. With the digital technology, of course, it has its downside and it has its drawbacks, and we see there is a biggest menace is the anti-plagiarism. Nowadays you can easily download things and copy and paste them. So we don't have in our university, we don't have anti-plagiarism policy right now. But so Professor Baba, he is heading a committee. They are trying to formulate this anti-plagiarism policy for the university. And so anyway, so as I said, I don't have much to say. I wish all the best to Professor Baba and his team. Thank you very much.
The Eastern Librarian of Allama Iqbal Library to extend vote of thanks.
Respected dignitaries, dear participants and colleagues, Assalamu alaikum. I deliver a vote of thanks on the eve of Librarians Day. I, on behalf of Allama Iqbal Library and on my own behalf, would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir, for his guidance and approval to organize one-day seminar on digital library solutions with special reference to Jammu and Kashmir on Librarians Day. Big thanks to Registrar and Dean Academic Affairs, University of Kashmir, for extending their support on the event. We are grateful to the chief guest of the event, Professor Sheikh Javed Ahmed, Dean Research, University of Kashmir, and our valued guest, Professor Naseem Ahmed Shah, Dean, Faculty, Education, India. I also wish to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Ishtiaq Hussain Qureshi I extend my thanks to all the participants who are present over here. An event like this cannot happen and are result-oriented. At the last but not least, I would like to thank all the officers and other staff members. Thank you.
more than 3,000 people. Basically, what?